Welcome to the HFY Tales channel. Remember to like and subscribe if you like the story. Enjoy and take care.
In the year 2156, Earth was no longer a lonely planet spinning quietly in the cosmic void. Instead, it had become a vibrant hub for intergalactic diplomacy, cultural exchange, and riotous social interactions with numerous alien species. The skyline of Elysium City blazed with neon signs and languages that twisted and curled around breathtaking skyscrapers, where humanoids and various other beings mingled in markets filled with wondrous alien goods. In the heart of this chaos stood Deepesh, an unsuspecting protagonist who had achieved the remarkable feat of becoming a low-level liaison in the Interplanetary Relations Department. Deepesh was the kind of person who was eternally optimistic, often a bit too optimistic for his own good, much to the amusement of his colleagues. With tousled black hair that framed his face and a penchant for wearing colorful shirts, he was hardly the ambassadorial type. But what he lacked in experience, he made up for in curiosity and an undeniable charm. One humid day, while preparing for a routine visit from an ambassador from the distant planet Tester 9, Deepesh had his sights set on making a good impression. He wanted to break the ice somehow, so he decided to bring a simple snack that humans often enjoyed, a banana. When the dignified ambassador arrived, Deepesh was transfixed. The creature before him was like nothing he had ever seen. Towering above his slender frame, the ambassador had shimmering emerald skin adorned with iridescent patterns. Despite their alien appearance, their eyes, large and expressive, conveyed intelligence and warmth. Their name was Ronnie, and they had come to negotiate peace treaties and foster relations. Trying to create a relaxed atmosphere, Deepesh presented the banana as if it were a rare gem. Ronnie eyed the yellow fruit curiously, tilting their head in a manner both endearing and bewildering. "What is this?" Ronnie asked, their voice a musical cadence that resonated with unearthly harmonies. "It's a banana," Deepesh replied, unable to hide his excitement. "You can eat it. It's delicious." With childlike wonder, the ambassador grasped the banana awkwardly, turning it over in their elongated fingers, examining it as if it were a curious artifact. Deepesh couldn't help but giggle at the sight. To his surprise, Ronnie took a tentative nibble, and their eyes widened in delight. "Indeed, this is marvelous," they exclaimed, their delight echoing within the chamber. The laughter rippled between them like a bridge, igniting an unexpected connection. As the two ventured deeper into conversation, the differences in their cultures faded, and curiosity bloomed into camaraderie. What began as a light-hearted moment marked the launch of a relationship that would intertwine their lives indelibly in ways neither could comprehend. Little did they know, their interaction would set off a series of events stirring the undercurrents of intergalactic politics, and Deepesh was about to become much more than the ambassador's simple human liaison. He would become Ronnie's secret protector. As the days turned into weeks, the initial encounter between Deepesh and Ronnie blossomed into a whirlwind of interstellar intrigue. They frequently met under the guise of official discussions, but increasingly, their conversations wandered into the realm of personal connection. It was during one of these informal gatherings that Deepesh learned more about Ronnie's extraordinary world. Ronnie hailed from Tester 9, a planet renowned for its luminescent landscapes and bioluminescent flora. Deepesh visualized a planet where the ground sparkled in hues of blue and green, where each plant seemed to shimmer with life, responding joyfully to sunlight. Alien creatures, a blend of curiosity and beauty, navigated this kaleidoscopic environment, harmonizing with nature in a symbiosis unheard of on Earth. "Back home, we communicate not just with words but with our emotions," Ronnie explained, their voice soft like the rustling of leaves. "Every color on our skin reflects what we feel, from the richness of joy to the depths of sorrow." "But what if you want to express something that's not straightforward?" Deepesh asked, intrigued. Ronnie's iridescent skin flickered to a gentle turquoise, an expressive form of affirmation. "That is the beauty of our language. It tells a story beyond words. We rely heavily on our connection to the energy around us." Deepesh was fascinated. He began to grasp the nuances of Ronnie's identity. They were not just an ambassador on a diplomatic mission, but a being rooted in a culture that valued emotional honesty above all. As if sensing his thoughts, Ronnie leaned closer. I find your Earth customs equally bewildering yet enchanting, like your concept of relationships, so complex yet so tumultuous. Their eyes sparkled with curiosity. Tell me more about how humans connect. Deepesh was more than willing to share. They delved into the joys and challenges of human relationships, the way emotions could be both exhilarating and painful. The conversation warmed between them, sparking both laughter and moments of vulnerability. However, the tranquility of their bond came with hidden depths. The political landscape of intergalactic relations was fraught with tension. Earth was an uneasy ally to many planets, and Ronnie's mission was crucial in forging lasting peace. She revealed that factional tensions on Tester 9 had escalated, and not everyone welcomed interstellar cooperation. There are those who believe my presence on Earth, and the alliances formed here, are a threat to our way of life. They want to disrupt this peace, Ronnie confessed, their vibrant skin dimming to a wary violet. Deepesh's heart raced at the implications. Ronnie was in danger, and the weight of their relationship became heavy with responsibility. "What can we do?" he asked, dread pooling in the pit of his stomach. Ronnie brushed their hand against Deepesh's arm, grounding them both. "We must stay vigilant. This mission requires trust, not only in what we can accomplish, but in each other. If we stand together, we can overcome these challenges." With that, they formed an unspoken pact. Deepesh felt an exhilarating surge of determination. The idea of being a protector, Ronnie's protector, resonated deeply within him. It wasn't just about politics or treaties. It was about safeguarding a connection that had unexpectedly blossomed in the most unlikely of circumstances. As security measures tightened around Ronnie's stay on Earth, their relationship continued to blossom with layers of intimacy, understanding, and exploration into what brought them together. They shared stories of their worlds, igniting a spirit of curiosity that would lay the groundwork for what was to come. A fascinating journey defined by their differences, yet united in their shared determination. As the weeks progressed, Deepesh and Ronnie found themselves wrapped in a cocoon of companionship. Official meetings melded seamlessly into private, candid conversations, their connection deepening with each shared moment. However, the undercurrents of danger loomed ever closer, whispering persistent warnings that their burgeoning relationship was fraught with peril. It happened one sunny afternoon in Elysium City, when Ronnie suggested they take a break from the tightly wound protocols of official duties. They wandered through a vibrant street market filled with humans and a mix of aliens selling colorful wares. The cacophony of sounds and scents overwhelmed the senses, and for a moment, both of them felt carefree. "Look at that!" Ronnie exclaimed, pointing at an array of delicacies displayed at a food stall. "What is a hot dog?" Deepesh laughed heartily, guiding Ronnie toward the vendor. "You have to try one. They're delicious, definitely a human classic." As Deepesh ordered, he felt the weight of Ronnie's gaze upon him, the warmth of their presence enveloping him in a way that brought an effortless smile to his lips. Despite the pressures weighing on Ronnie, they radiated a sense of wonder that chased away Deepesh's worries, even if only for a moment. But those moments of bliss were soon interrupted. As they devoured their strange but exhilarating snacks, a group of individuals lingered on the periphery, whispering to one another with shadows etched across their faces. Deepesh noticed them stirring, fingers twitching near their belts, too tense and watchful. "I think we should go," Deepesh suggested, a tingle of apprehension crawling up his spine. Ronnie's bright eyes met his, instinctively sensing the shift. Just as they turned to leave, one of the figures stepped forward, a menacing smile stretching across their features. "Well, well, if it isn't the ambassador from Tester 9 and their pathetic human friend." Deepesh's stomach twisted. He recognized the tumult in Ronnie's expression, a flicker of alarm across the ambassador's usually calm demeanor. This was the group Ronnie had mentioned, a coalition that staunchly opposed intergalactic alliances. "What do you want?" Deepesh asked, standing protectively in front of Ronnie. He felt an unfamiliar fire ignite within him, fueled not only by his growing feelings for Ronnie, but also by a surge of courage he hadn't known existed. "Oh, just a little chat," the leader sneered, taking a step closer. "You don't belong here, Ambassador. Your presence is a scourge to the pure bloodlines of our planets." Ronnie's skin turned a vibrant crimson, a glaring display of anger and warning. "We are here to build understanding, not to promote division," they declared, their voice ringing with authority. The tension in the air thickened as the leader laughed, the sound dripping with derision. "Understanding? You are a naive fool if you think that's possible. We will not stand idly by while our worlds are tainted by your influence." Before Deepesh could react, a skirmish broke out. The leader lunged at Ronnie, but Deepesh was quicker. He moved with instincts honed by years of navigating human complexities. Not realizing his protective nature had awakened, he pushed Ronnie backward, taking the brunt of the attack as he shielded the ambassador from harm. The market erupted into chaos, with civilians screaming and scattering. Deepesh felt the adrenaline surge through him as he struggled against the antagonists while Ronnie's glowing skin shifted, revealing their determination. They stepped back, recalibrating their energy, and prepared to retaliate. However, Deepesh's instinct to protect Ronnie surged beyond his fear. With a sharp yet clumsy maneuver, he followed the bad guys' momentum, using their own weight against them and sending them tumbling to the ground. "Go! Get to safety!" he gasped, locking eyes with Ronnie. But Ronnie, echoing a force that was unyielding, stood by him. "I will not leave you." Their voice rang out, steady and unwavering. As chaos swirled around them, the fight escalated. Deepesh flung himself toward another of the attackers, averting the threat just in time for Ronnie to channel the bioluminescent energy they had spoken of, creating an ethereal barrier. The very air crackled as it enveloped them in a protective cocoon, deflecting incoming blows. Drawing energy from their surroundings, Ronnie unleashed a burst of dazzling light, blinding the attackers momentarily. "Now," they urged, grabbing Deepesh's hand as they raced away, narrowly avoiding further confrontation. Pushing through the panic-stricken crowd, Deepesh gripped Ronnie's hand tighter, their hearts pounding in synchrony. In that moment of chaos, fear transformed into resolve with each step they took, uniting them against a common goal: survival. Once they found a hidden alcove among the market stalls, they paused to catch their breath. Ronnie's skin shimmered softly, a resonance of gratitude and relief. "You were brave, Deepesh." "Thank you." Deepesh met their gaze, feeling emboldened by their praise, yet all too aware of the emotions tangled within him. "I couldn't let them hurt you. I care too much about you, Ronnie. This is more than just duty to me. It's personal." Ronnie's luminescent skin shifted to a warm golden hue, responding to his heartfelt admission. "You are not just my protector. You are my ally, and perhaps something more," Ronnie replied, their voice laced with uncharacteristic vulnerability. In that heartbeat of exhaustion, camaraderie, and burgeoning feelings, they stood side by side, understanding that their connection had transformed into something deeper than either could have anticipated. With the threat still looming and their relationship precariously balanced, they would be forced to navigate the storm ahead together. The air was thick with tension that buzzed like electricity. As Deepesh and Ronnie escaped into the relative safety of an abandoned alley, they could hear the distant sounds of chaos blooming from the market, a cacophony of shouts, sirens, and scattered panic. For a fleeting moment, they shared a breath, a stillness between them that belied the storm brewing just beyond the walls. "We need to warn the authorities," Deepesh said, urgency coloring his voice. Ronnie nodded, their emerald skin flickering ominously with the uncertainty of the moment. But as they prepared to re-enter the fray, the flickering beacons of danger drew closer. The antagonists from earlier were regrouping, their sinister whispers preparing for another, possibly lethal assault. Deepesh's heart raced. He knew they had to act fast. "Ronnie, we need your barrier," he urged, adrenaline coursing through his veins. The thought of needing Ronnie's powers, their unique capabilities, was both exhilarating and terrifying, but it was clear that to survive, they would need synergy. "Ready yourself," Ronnie said, their voice steady with purpose. The ambassadors' focus shifted deeply as they channeled their energy, a visualization that stretched far beyond mere thoughts into a realm of raw emotion. Deepesh felt the warmth radiate from Ronnie, enhancing the bond between them. Suddenly, rapid footsteps approached, and cold fear washed over him as a figure emerged from the shadowy corners of the alleyway. It was one of the attackers, Determination ignited in their eyes. They lunged forward, aiming to incapacitate Ronnie while they were momentarily distracted. With a sharp shout born of instinct, Deepesh quickly interposed himself, prepared to take the blow. But before the assailant reached them, Ronnie unleashed the energy they had cultivated. A dazzling hue emanated from their skin, forming a radiant shield around Deepesh, and the attacker was thrown back, colliding painfully against the brick wall. "Get behind me," Deepesh commanded, heart racing as he steadied himself. He could see the flicker of fear in Ronnie's expressive eyes, adding fuel to his fire. "Not a chance," Ronnie asserted, positioning themselves alongside him. That defiance solidified something deep within Deepesh. They were no longer two individuals caught in a dangerous game, but partners fighting for something greater. With a sudden surge of determination, they charged out of the alley, confronting the regrouped opponents who had gathered their ranks. Ronnie summoned brilliant arcs of energy into a defensive shield, while Deepesh leveraged the improvised motions he had learned in self-defense training. Each parry and strike felt invigorated by the purpose of protecting Ronnie. Amid the chaos, Deepesh never lost sight of Ronnie's intricate movements, their skin-changing hues that signaled readiness and urgency. Each pulse of color powered him up in a silent dance of battle, a choreography of survival molded through shared trust and budding love. "On your mark, we fight," Ronnie shouted, their composure unwavering despite the threat looming ever closer. With a shared nod, they decided to take a bold step forward into the fray. With Deepesh occupying the attention of several attackers, Ronnie unleashed a storm of bioluminescent energy, creating brilliant bursts that flared out like intricate fireworks, stunning their assailants. Spin after spin, they weaved through the enemies, their flow elegant and commanding, revealing an innate combat prowess Deepesh hadn't known they possessed. Fighting to keep Ronnie safe, Deepesh found himself grasping the essence of why he fought with bravery. It wasn't just for duty, nor simply because he felt responsible. It was the undeniable bond between them that galvanized him. Each victory in the skirmish felt like a testament to their relationship, a mix of adrenaline and vulnerability swirling together as they faced the threat hand in hand. As they pressed further into the fray, Ronnie's energy began to wane, becoming less stable. Deepesh could see the strain etched on their face. It was a grim reminder that their powers had limits. "Ronnie," Deepesh yelled, adrenaline edging into despair. "We need to retreat. We won't win this battle if you're exhausted." "Not yet," Ronnie insisted, their eyes blazing with defiance. "We can't let them chase us. We have to show them what unity can accomplish." With renewed fire, they pressed on. But as another hostile figure lunged from the shadows, Ronnie faltered, and the energy they commanded flickered dangerously. Without hesitation, Deepesh lunged forward, shielded Ronnie, and in that instant, time seemed to stretch. In a flash, Ronnie responded, tapping into the very fabric of their surroundings and channeling the vivid energy around them to create one last brilliant surge, illuminating the alley with radiant light. "Together!" they cried, and the energy exploded outward, plunging their enemies into disarray. Sensing victory at hand, Deepesh maneuvered quickly, striking down the last of the attackers with an agility fueled by fear and the need to protect. Ironically, it was not solely his strength that won the day, but their unbreakable connection, solidified by the synchronization of trust and love. As the final adversary fell, the wreckage of the market faded into the background. Amid the aftermath, Deepesh and Ronnie stood breathless, leaning against each other with shared relief washing over them. The chaos subsided, leaving silence in its wake. But the higher stakes remained. A gaping vulnerability still lingered. "Are you all right?" Deepesh asked, concern etching his features. Ronnie nodded, though they leaned slightly, needing the support. "I'll be fine," Ronnie replied, the softness in their tone belied by the energy still crackling around them, a remnant of the battle fought. "You fought bravely, Deepesh. We fought as one." However, it was not merely the literal battle they had fought. Their connection had expanded and deepened, bowing in the face of the unexpected. They shared an unspoken understanding that love could blossom from the ashes of chaos, weaving their destinies together in a cosmic tapestry unlike any other. But the threat still loomed. They knew this had merely been a first skirmish, and many more battles lay ahead in their path. Together, they would face the shadows that tried to pull them apart, side by side, united against the darkness with the resolve fueled by something far stronger than themselves. The aftermath of the skirmish left Elysium City buzzing with commentary and caution. Though the immediate threat had been quelled, whispers of discontent brewed in the shadows, of factions still determined to undermine the fragile peace that Ronnie was working to establish. But for Deepesh and Ronnie, the defeat of the attackers had solidified a new reality, one where they were not only allies but partners. In the time following the confrontation, their bond deepened. With each encounter, they navigated the intricacies of their relationship, threading the needle between human emotionality and alien resilience. Ronnie often shared more about Tester 9 and its culture, weaving tales of their vibrant homeworld that sparked wonder in Deepesh's eyes, while Deepesh revealed the heartbeats of human life: love, ambition, pain, and joy. "What's it like?" Ronnie asked one evening, the stars twinkling like scattered gems reflecting in their wide eyes as they shared a quiet moment in the city park. "To express love in your world?" Deepesh thought for a moment, their hearts swelling with the weight of honest sentiment. "Love, it's complicated. Sometimes it's pure joy, and other times it can be overwhelming pain. But it's what binds us. It's what makes us human." Ronnie's skin shifted to a soothing lavender hue, mirroring their intrigue. "Emotions transcend worlds. I feel drawn to you, Deepesh. The way you protect, the way your laughter fills the air. It's a connection I've never known." Deepesh smiled, momentarily lost in the depths of Ronnie's gaze. "And I feel the same way about you. The way you understand me without words, it's unlike anything I've experienced. We are two worlds, yet here we stand, figuring this out together." But the realities of the escalating political tension continued to simmer just beneath the fabric of their relationship. They couldn't shake the feeling that the antagonistic faction was still out there, watching and waiting for another opportunity to strike. 1 week later, at the Interplanetary Relations Office, a secure meeting was convened. The stakes weighed heavily in the air as representatives from Earth, Tester 9, and other intergalactic bodies gathered around a conference table. Deepesh sat beside Ronnie, who exuded confidence and determination, exhibiting the resplendent strength that had become so familiar to him. As a human liaison, Deepesh had never attended a meeting this significant, filled with dignitaries debating their collective futures. Whispers of cooperation danced on cautious tongues, punctuated by the vulnerable trust they had forged through hardship. "Ronnie, will you report now?" one of the Earth representatives prompted, their voice echoing slightly through the expansive conference room. Swallowing their nerves, Ronnie nodded. "Thank you. Although challenges remain, I believe through unity, we can sculpt a narrative that embraces understanding rather than division. The attack that targeted our meeting was orchestrated by those who fear change, those who do not understand that our worlds can synergize." As Ronnie spoke, it was evident how their presence commanded the room. Deepesh marveled at their passion, feeling pride swell within him. He could see glimmers of hope crystallizing in the eyes of the delegates, perceptions shifting like the hues of Ronnie's skin. "We stand at a crossroads," Ronnie continued passionately, "where we can either embrace the beauty of our differences or continue to nurture fear and ignorance." After a tense silence, a representative from another planet finally spoke up. "If we can't trust our ambassadors to protect their own, how can we proceed in good faith?" Deepesh seized the opportunity, heart pounding as he interjected. "Ronnie has fought tirelessly not only for peace, but also for the unity of our worlds. Together, we've faced threats that challenged our ability to understand one another. Our experiences can guide us, teach us that it is within our differences that our greatest strengths lie." Ronnie reached for Deepesh's hand, intertwining their fingers, a gesture not lost on the onlookers. It was bold, a statement that elevated their alliance to something deeper, transcending beyond the bureaucratic nature of intergalactic relations. As more representatives began to rally behind Ronnie and Deepesh, a shift in momentum grew palpable. Each voice that joined their cause fueled a platform for cooperation, building on the dreams of a united future. Days turned into months, and together they worked tirelessly, transforming threats into dialogue. The more challenging topics of alliance building, cultural exchange, and mutual respect began to shift from mere aspirations into action. The coalition between Earth and Tester 9 blossomed, emboldened by the courage and perseverance displayed by one simple act, a human showing an alien a banana, igniting curiosity that turned into connection and partnership. Then, during an intergalactic event celebrating their newfound alliance, Deepesh and Ronnie stood together before their peers, reflecting on how far they had come, both as individuals and as representatives of their worlds. In that moment of triumph, Deepesh turned to Ronnie, his pulse quickening as he prepared to make a declaration. "Ronnie, in the brightness of our unity, I recognize that you are not just an ambassador. You are a part of my life, a bond that transcends existence as I once knew it." Ronnie's eyes sparkled, an array of emotions flickering across their iridescent skin. "And I, too, have come to understand that love doesn't know the boundaries of space or culture. Your influence and bravery have empowered me beyond measure." With the world watching, Deepesh took a deep breath and leaned closer, capturing Ronnie's gaze. "Will you stand beside me, not just as an ambassador or ally, but as something more? In this new world we're building together?" Tears glimmered in Ronnie's eyes as they nodded. "Together, we will bridge galaxies, continuing the fight, redefining what it means to love and coexist. Always." As the applause erupted around them, a promise hung in the air, potent and vibrant, a commitment to face not just political foes, but also the endless expanse of the universe together, hand in hand. The journey had begun with a humble fruit, but it had blossomed into something extraordinary, a celebration of unity, love, and the undeniable strength found amidst the stars. Together, they turned their gaze toward the horizon, ready for the new adventures that awaited them across galaxies, fortified by the journey that had entwined their fates forever.